I got a cruise ship, which is not cheap. We're putting 100 random subscribers on it because I'm about to hit 100 million subscribers. So to celebrate 100 million subscribers, got a cruise ship, putting 100 subscribers on it. I'm taking them on the cruise ship to a private island, and they're competing for the private island, and the winner gets the private island.
That's amazing.
What is up, everybody? My name is Ricky, and welcome back to Creative Disruption. This is my co-host, Daryl, and today should be an amazing episode. Take it away, Daryl.
Hey, Daryl's fired and I'm Ricky, by the way. Welcome, everyone. Again, super excited to have Jimmy on. A lot has happened, Jimmy, since you've been on, what was it, like 2 years ago? A little over 2 years?
Yep. Yeah, before this we were looking. I came on here, it felt like 10 years ago, but apparently I came on here February 20th, 2020. So a little over 2 years, and it's pretty crazy how much stuff has changed since then.
I think just our dialogue together has changed significantly because you were exploding at that point. People already considered you the GOAT of YouTube. But today, you're way bigger than you were 2 years ago. I think 2 years ago, you were close to just a little over 10% of the size that you are collectively across your followers today, which is, I believe, over like 260 million followers.
Yeah, something like that. We have like 205 on YouTube, and then, probably another 100 on everything else. Yeah, it's been pretty crazy.
That is amazing. It's one of those things where, I remember asking you the amount of employees you had, and you said, around a dozen and some contractors. How many employees do you have now?
Oh, gosh. Well, I mean, the thing is, certain videos, like, when we recreated Squid Game, like, that video alone, we had like 150, or no, we had 130 just like construction contractors. Over 200 people worked on that video. So it's like, we pull in a lot of people, and even things like, there's a lot of jobs that, like, I might not own the merch company I work with, but still that supplies tons of jobs. And this thing I do supplies tons of jobs. So there's also a lot of inadvertent jobs, but actual full-time people is probably somewhere between 80 and 100 across like all our MrBeast companies.
That's amazing. And are most of those employees in Greenville?
Actually, I've never had anyone ask me that. So our gaming channel is almost all remote, and that has like probably like 25 different people. We only have like one person here. Our Reacts channel is all remote, except for like one or two people, and that is like a dozen plus people. So, no, I mean, it's probably 50-50, honestly.
Well, I'll just say this. I think, we've chatted before where I was very impressed with certain YouTubers a couple years ago of having a bunch of employees, having their own little studios. But going to North Carolina and checking out all the stuff that you're building just blew my mind. It literally, Greenville, North Carolina is turning into a small Hollywood, so to speak. I hope you don't mind me mentioning this, but there's one studio that has like 40,000 square feet, and there's another new studio that you're already starting to use that has like over 68,000 square feet.
Yeah, that's because I'm a big fan of Steve Jobs, so we call it Apple Park. That's our new campus, and so we're building tons of studio space there which I probably said this same thing 2 years ago, but one of the biggest bottlenecks for creating large scale videos is just space. And you wouldn't think that. It's and I think a lot of YouTubers, as they're scaling up and more people want to be like us and do these big projects, they're going to realize, like, if you want to upload, let's just say you want to upload every week, and these big videos take months to create. We'll be conservative and say like 2.5 months. That means, like, for you to upload next week, you had to been working on that video 2.5 months ago and all these other videos. So you basically have to be working on like 7 or 8 videos at a time. And if one video takes up, which most creators don't even have a warehouse. Well, let's assume you have one warehouse, and one of those videos takes up that entire warehouse. How do you work on the other 7 videos? You know what I mean? Like, if you do world's hardest maze and you build a maze in your warehouse, you still have 7 other videos you got to work on so you can upload the next 7 months. And so space becomes a bottleneck really quickly as these projects get bigger and bigger and bigger. And sometimes it's not an entire video or one video that takes up your whole studio, but 2 or 3 of them still. Like, the point is, you got to be working on many videos at the same time to be able to upload every week, or some people try to upload twice a week, and it just, that's where we are. And so we have like 3 or 4 different studios currently, and we're always building more because, weirdly enough, space is a bigger bottleneck than you'd think.
How many acres have you purchased?
100 acres surrounding the campus. Yeah. So it's going to become eventually, assuming we can remain relevant, we can just keep reinvesting, going bigger and bigger. I'd love to get more YouTubers around me. I'd love to just make this giant fairy tale campus of just content producing machine. You know what I mean? And even maybe have an incubator or places where other people can come in and film videos as well as more people come in locally. And yeah, it's crazy, man. Just the difference building our like I said, Apple Park, my giant warehouse, has made is insane, because we can, that thing, like you said, it's like 50,000 square feet of studio space, and then like another 20,000 of office space. And with that studio space, we can just work on like 2 or 3 videos in there at the same time. And it's just been great.
In 10 years from now, I'm not going to be surprised if you have your own Disneyland, to be frank.
Nah, I mean, that's the goal.
The stuff that you're accomplishing, I think most creators don't even imagine accomplishing right now. You've taken it to that level. And I would say, in addition to that, high-functioning production companies that do, let's say, reality TV or unscripted, I don't think they even process the nut that you've cracked when it comes to logistics and operations, to have all these projects happening at this level at the same time, but to also have as quick of a gestation period where you have a quick turnaround where, you do something that takes a lot of resources, a lot of people, and you turn around in just a month or 2 months.
It's hard. It's really hard. People underestimate how hard this stuff is. Yeah, I mean, you keep going, but yeah, it's more difficult.
How do you keep pushing those boundaries? Because it feels like every year it gets more and more intense and more and more complicated. And and I remember in our last podcast, you mentioned that one day you would hope you would have videos that cost more than $1 million. You mentioned Squid Games, where you had like 200 people on that.
Did I really say that in the last podcast? I did. Actually, I used to say that all the time. You just reminded me of that. I'm getting so much deja vu right now. People used to be like, when I was spending like $100,000 a video, people would be like, so this isn't sustainable. You can't get in bigger and bigger. And I was like, I remember telling people, I was like, no, there's going to be a day where I'm spending over $1 million a video. And people thought I was crazy. They're like, no way you could ever sustainably, like, every video spend $1 million. It doesn't even like make sense, Oh my gosh, you're giving me so many flashbacks to that.
Well, no, it's amazing to see like what you've accomplished in that area. And
$1 million is like a cheap video at this point for us.
What's the most you spent on a video? Just out of curiosity.
The Squid Game video was supposed to be $2 million. And then it's like, oh, you're writing it, you're changing things. This is bigger than you thought. This is bigger, and then it's 2.5 million. And then all of a sudden it's 3 million. And then you're like, oh wait, we want to give all the contestants $1,000 for competing. So now it's 3.5 million. And then it goes a couple of days longer, and like, a lot of people don't know if they can stay, and so then you pay them a little extra, and all these little things just like add up, and like, yeah, it ended up being like a little over $4 million.
I mean, it's for all the people that are listening. Most production companies don't get that for a single episode on Netflix or like the major streaming platforms. That's amazing to see that, YouTube, which is still a young platform, is generating talent that is figuring out how to push boundaries. And
our video I'm filming in a couple of days is like, so I got a cruise ship. Which is not cheap. We're putting 100 random subscribers on it because I'm about to hit 100 million subscribers. So to celebrate 100 million subscribers, got a cruise ship, putting 100 subscribers on it. I'm taking them on the cruise ship to a private island, and they're competing for the private island, and the winner gets the private island.
That's amazing.
And so like that video, between the cruise ship, getting them out there, I mean, it's like 200-person crew that we're bringing out there to the, because you got the 100 subscribers, you got to have backups, you got to have medics, our production crew, editing, dozen camera people, my talent, me, the boys, PA, like it's like crazy, all that. Plus we got to fly them all out to the island and all this stuff. It's like it's gonna be like $3.5 to $3.8 million for just my 100 million subscriber video. And so it's like those big budget videos are becoming way more common. Like, and then the video we're filming right after that is we are recreating Willy Wonka's chocolate factory in real life, which I think is phenomenal. Because we launched our chocolate bar, Feastables, and that sold like crazy. And we put like 10 mystery tickets in 10 different bars. We're flying them out, and they're competing for a chocolate factory. And that one, I'm not as in the weeds on that video, but I know it's minimum is going to be like $2 million, probably much more, because we had to buy a chocolate factory, and currently they're in there just renovating it, and like you're just doing. I don't even know how to explain it. I mean, like we're having to create trees out of candy.
So you bought a chocolate factory. Did you buy the cruise ship too?
No. The cruise ship we rented. We're not that crazy.
Well, go on. So what went into buying this chocolate factory?
Yeah, so we got a factory, and then it took forever because we had to find the right size factory. There's some that are more vertical, some that are more sideways, obviously. And we found one that I was like, yeah, this is within the budget. Obviously, if I had unlimited money, I could have gone and bought like a $20 million factory or warehouse, and it would have been crazy. But, I have some type of constraints. So it was really finding something that, I could buy for like $1 million and then just renovate, as opposed to buying something like that's 5 to 10 million. So we finally found it. And then, we're mapping out. We're like, okay, here's where the chocolate river should go. Here's where the candy trees are. Here's where they should walk in. Here's how we're going to redesign the outside so it looks like Willy Wonka and all this stuff. And one of the bits we're making like the world's largest can of Coca-Cola. And one of them it's cool. It's going to be a really good video. But yeah, they're getting pretty crazy price-wise. I don't know. But also like, which I can't tell you how much I'm getting per brand deal, but brand deals for us have just gone up so much year over year to levels where I never thought they would get this high. So that's also helped offset it. And also just our views have gone up crazy, where it's like, a lot of these videos are going to get 100 million views. So it just, it's kind of crazy. It feels insane.